I've been reflecting on my life a little bit, and each of us, I think, have personality traits that stand out and kind of define who we are. Some people are nurturers, some people are teachers, some people are observers, and others are adventurers. I think of myself as more of a pioneer spirit. And I've boldly gone where other people have not. And I don't think it's because I'm fearless or a genius. I think it's because I'm listening to the callings of the universe and of my inner yearnings. So let me give you an example. When I was a little girl, my father was stricken with cancer. And fortunately, he survived, but unfortunately, he was financially wiped out. And so we had to move to another area to start all over again. And when I got there, I was very different than the rest of the kids. I was considered very different. And as a result, they didn't really want to have anything to do with me. And I felt very alone. Anybody ever felt like an outlier like that? Have you? And so I wanted to have something of my very own. And I decided to really hear what my loves were, which were sports and writing. And in that, I realized I wanted to marry those two things. And so at a late age of 11, I decided I wanted to be a sports writer. At a time, there were no women sports writers. Now, this was something that, was really different for that era. And yet I am excited to say that at the age of 20, I was at the Detroit Free Press, and at 21, I was on the front pages of the LA Times and at Associated Press, and at 22, I was at the Washington Post. So moving ahead a little bit, I really decided that I wanted to take that and move into the sports PR business. Now, all of the people who ran the sports PR agencies at the time were male, and they scoffed at having a woman in their midst. But I knew that there was a place for a woman in that field. And so I created a sports special events and cable TV PR agency that ended up with a world-class client list. We have clients like Toyota and Avon and Seagram's and Showtime and the National Hockey League. And the last thing I did was launch the worldwide poker phenomenon. Well, after some years, about 20 years of running that agency, I got another calling, and that was to, just prior to when The Secret came out, to write a couple of books in practical conscious creation. And that second book was the best spiritual book of the year at the International New Age Trade Show. But in doing that, I started promoting those on radio, and I realized that there was a whole bunch of media out there that really loved this kind of content when the mainstream media was really not much fun anymore. It really wasn't biting on almost anything. But these guys wanted this kinds of content. And so that was the next message from the universe. We created the Personal Development Radio podcast tour that we're still doing today. And we love to serve. We've served over 175 authors and leaders during the last couple of years. So from there, we began hearing from some of our clients, gee, would you book us for speaking engagements? And, I knew that's not something we wanted to do, but I knew where a lot of those leads were. And I thought, well, why not just make this information available so that people can book themselves? And so I'm proud to tell you what we're doing now, the latest in our pioneering ventures. It's called Speakertunity Cities Regional Speaker Lead Directories. And what we've done is we've amassed between 800 and almost 2,000 speaker leads for each and every market, so that leaders can actually zero down into their own market and not have to do any of the research to find these speaking gigs. How much time have you spent looking for these kind of speaking gigs yourself? We've got a really simple and easy answer. So I want to suggest that if you have an inner calling as a messenger to get out and deliver your message, or to be an adventurer, or to be a teacher, or some other kind of yearning that you're having, this calling that's coming to you, I really encourage you to follow it so that you can really live life to the fullest and get the greatest abundance that comes to you when you're living life doing what you love. So, I'm Jackie Lappin, and I would love to invite you to subscribe to this YouTube and come back. We're going to have a lot more for you, and we're going to help you get booked.